On a night drowned in pills, liquor, and half-formed memories, a dazed college student slips into the backseat of a cab that hurls toward the horrifying truth of what really happened after the party, and toward a destination no living soul wants to reach. I don't remember opening the rear door of the cab, only the hot, stale breath of the night and the slam that followed me inside. "Rough evening, son?" the driver asked, voice syrup slow. The meter's green glow painted his profile, but the plexiglass partition turned him into foggy shapes, a brimmed cap, cheeks sunken in shadow, a smile that never quite reached his eyes. My head pulsed. Yeah, something like that. It smelled like beer, sweat, and beneath it, maybe my imagination, a faint, coppery rot. 214 Oak Terrace, I mumbled, closing my eyes. Home stretch, the driver said. The engine grumbled to life. You college kids, he went on, easing into the avenue, always chasing the blackout. What's tonight's poison? I pinched the bridge of my nose. Vodka, couple lines, I think. And something else, maybe? A little rainbow tab? The question came too quickly, like he already knew. Look, man, can we not... Conversation helps the ride go faster. He flicked his turn signal, though the street was empty. Tick-tock, tick-tock. Tell me what you remember. I tried. Flashes surfaced. A bass-throbbed living room. My girlfriend Alyssa's laugh. Glittering lights that smeared like wet paint. Someone handed me a capsule. Her hand squeezed mine. Then, nothing. I exhaled. It's all scrambled. Last clear thing is Alyssa dancing on the coffee table. Pretty name, he said, tasting each syllable. Did she ride with you tonight? We got separated. A red light bled across the windshield. In it, I noticed the driver's hands on the steering wheel, thin, almost twig-like, knuckles swollen and purpled as overripe plums. Just circulation problems, I told myself. He studied me in the mirror. Separated how? I don't know. Sometimes lovers fight. My pulse quickened. We didn't fight, I don't think. You sure? I searched memory's murk. Shouting. A broken bottle. The color red, but maybe that was the strobe lights. I'm not sure of anything. The driver hummed a lullaby slow tune. Memory's a tricky beast. Smell often unlocks it. He cracked his window. Night air rushed in, rank with exhaust, and there it was again, that sweet, sickly odor, as though meat had been left in summer sun. Jesus, I muttered, swallowing bile. Something jog loose? Look, can you close that? He obeyed, but the stench lingered inside. Street lamps streaked by. I wiped a hand across my face and felt something crusted along my temple. I inspected my fingers, dark flecks under my nails, dirt, dried blood. You cut yourself? The driver asked. I guess. Check your clothes. Might be more clues. I glanced down. My white button-up was inside out, buttons misaligned. A brownish smear trailed from collar to pocket. My stomach twisted. What happened to me? We'll get there, he said cheerily. Any texts? I pulled out my phone, cracked screen, 12 missed calls from Alyssa. A voicemail waited, time-stamped 2:17 a.m. Play it, he urged, voice suddenly closer, though he hadn't moved. My thumb hovered. I pressed play. Sam, it's me. You're scaring me. You need to stop. Put the knife down. Sam, please. I love you. Just talk to me. Sam. The message cut off with a shriek and the thud of something heavy hitting wood. My throat closed. No, no, no. The driver's eyes gleamed in the mirror. Sometimes the worst truths hide in plain sight. Memories ripped open like jagged wounds. Kitchen tiles slick beneath my feet. Alyssa backing away, mascara streaked with tears. My own hand gripping a chef's knife, her name gasped like a prayer, like an apology. I slapped the partition. Stop the car. We're almost there, he said softly. Where? The hospital. Police. You need answers first. He turned onto a deserted industrial road I didn't recognize. The city skyline receded, replaced by derelict warehouses, windows black as sockets. Streetlights ended. Only the cab's headlights speared the dark. The air inside turned hot, humid, intolerable. My vision blurred. What did I do? My voice cracked. He sighed with something like pity. Let's finish the puzzle together. After Alyssa fell, what next? I squeezed my temples until sparks danced. Another burst of memory. Alyssa on the floor, blood spreading. I dropped the knife. Panic. Pill bottle. Blue capsules. Swallowing fistfuls to mute the horror. I overdosed, I whispered. I remember the bathroom spinning. My heart stopped. Indeed it did. The driver slowed. Pale flames flickered on the road's horizon, like bonfires, but eerily still. My phone buzzed. A final notification popped up, although I had no signal. Come downstairs. The battery died. I looked up. The driver's mirror reflected not a man now, but a visage of withered parchment skin, teeth like broken tombstones. Maggots writhed where pupils should have been. I recoiled. What? What are you? He chuckled, the sound of dry leaves crushed underfoot. Your courier, your confessor. Some call me a baden, but labels are vanity, yes? The cab doors locked with a mechanical click. You're dead, Samuel, he said gently. Heart seized at 2:31 a.m. She bled out before anyone found her. Your souls are accounted for. Flames licked closer, lighting the cabin in furnace orange. Outside, the landscape had warped into a canyon of charred bone. No! I rammed my shoulder into the door. It dented but did not yield. Abaddon steered into a yawning tunnel of ribs arching from the earth itself. Screams echoed from its depths, layered. Men, women, children, beasts, each cry stitched to the next. He spoke over the cacophony. Regret tastes bitter, doesn't it? Recall the moment you chose violence. I loved her, I sobbed. You loved control, rage and powders and pride. The meter on the dash spun through hieroglyphs, tallying sins instead of dollars. I grabbed the plexiglass and pulled. It snapped off like brittle ice. I lunged forward, hands around his neck, but my fingers sank into damp, giving rot. Flesh peeled away, revealing a skull wreathed in blowflies. I screamed. Abaddon didn't flinch. Destination reached. The cab halted before iron gates taller than church steeples, forged of interlocking limbs that writhed and moaned. They parted, and a furnace wind howled in. My door vanished, replaced by a crumbling ledge over a pit of crimson fire. Hands, gray, fetid, burst from the seat cushions, grabbing my wrists and ankles. I fought, but their grip was final. You can't take me. I didn't mean to. Intent weighs little. Consequence weighs much. The demon's voice now filled every corner of my skull. The hands dragged me onto a stone platform. Chains coiled around my limbs, each link carved with Alyssa's name. They hoisted me upright. Ahead, endless tears of the damned suffered tailored torments. A woman forced to sew, shut her own mouth for gossip. A broker gnawing gold coins that melted on his tongue. Lovers bound back to back by barbed wire. Abaddon approached, robes of shadow billowing. In his hand materialized the knife, still slick with dark blood. He offered it hilt first. Recognition is the first lash. I shook my head, tears stinging. He pressed the blade to my palm. Feel the weight of choice. My skin hissed where metal met flesh. I howled. The surrounding souls joined. A choir of ruin. Somewhere in that choir, Alyssa's voice rose, soft yet flaying. Sam, why? The platform lurched, lowering into a pit of gears. that ground bone like wheat. Flames surged, the heat scalded hair from my body. Chains tightened, crushing ribs. Abaddon observed, eyes bright with scholarly interest. As the first gear's tooth pierced my heel, clarity erupted. Not merciful forgiveness, but crystal understanding of every selfish impulse that paved my path here. The drugs, the jealousy, the cowardice after the act. The demon leaned close, his breath cemetery cold. There is wisdom in pain, should you endure long enough to learn. Screams enveloped me, not distant now, but my own. Metal screamed too, or maybe that was still me, my voice fracturing into layers. The last thing I saw before blacking into forever was Abaddon raising his cabbie's cap in mock salute. Welcome home, traveller. Chains yanked me downward. Stone jaws closed overhead, sealing daylight out. I fell into a maw of fire and voices, into eternity's machinery, where each second stretched endless, and every heartbeat was a confession carved in flesh. And as the gears began their ruthless work, a whisper threaded through the roar, my own, at last remembering every moment in perfect detail, doomed to recount it again and again, while the darkness ground my soul to ash.